And it's 9 o'clock in Chicago. It's 3 in the afternoon in the United Kingdom. It's Darren and Steve with Across the Pond. Darren,
hi,
good
Steve.
to see you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
What's new? How's world over there?
Oh, good God, I don't know. I've got I've got an old laptop, not a new laptop. I've had problems with my my laptop for the last couple of weeks, and I don't know if hopefully the audio and everything is fine. But
It's perfect, yeah.
I'm working off old cranking up technology at the moment.
You got the old mouse in the wheel, turning the hard drive, yeah.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah,
I think it was my credits. My credits last time, I think it broke the laptop. I think it was.
You see, that was just it. There we go. You see, we've blown the budget again this week, everybody, with the graphics. We're working on animation, but that's as close as we're going to get, right, for now? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Cool. So, listen, we've got a packed show for everybody this week. We have an entrepreneur who is just doing so much good, has transformed her business into something else that we're going to bring on in a bit. A lovely lady called Rachael Ramona, and we're going to hear about her business and how she's changed that. Our top tips this week are about team building, and we're going to get to those at the end. So if you're building a team, if you're a solopreneur, if you're just starting out, or if you certainly with everybody being kind of diverse and split away right now, if you're looking for some hints and tips on teamwork and team building, then we've got some about that, and it's gonna be a packed show. We've got actually a couple of surprises for you as well, so hopefully it's well, listen, we should practice the "it's goodbye from me" and it's.
No, we need to, I think.
Yeah. So right at the end, so that we get it right. But everybody, stay tuned. As I said, it's going to be really an exciting show. I want to tee this up this week by saying that COVID has transformed lots of businesses. We've heard and we've spoken, Darren, before about businesses that have transformed. Kind of microbreweries into making hand sanitizers, and people that have opened up their businesses to try and make masks or whatever it might be, and so that whole kind of pivoting. I think in our first ever episode we talked about pivoting your business, didn't we? Yeah,
absolutely. Changing direction and adapting to the circumstances.
Yeah, exactly. And so we have a real classic, a classic example of that today that we're going to be talking about. And so the whole thing about I guess today's message is going to be about kindness as well, and how people can really make a difference in this world. And there's a lot of apprehension out there. I'm still finding there's a lot of people that are being very almost very aggressive in trying to get stuff done because there's a lot of strain and a lot of stress and anxiety. But and they're scared. You're right. So hopefully this is going to make a huge difference with this story. So with that, I'm delighted to bring on and welcome to Across the Pond, Rachael Ramona from Project Mask Up. Delighted to have you on. Welcome to Rachel. Across the Pond with Darren and Steve.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. So
afternoon.
Afternoon for Darren.
Sorry.
Of course.
Good afternoon.
So Rachael, tell us about your business first, and then let's talk about how you've pivoted that and kind of moved it along.
So I've been in fashion for about 10 years now. Last year was my most exciting year. I manufacture with a new guy, and so we went to Thailand to find a new place to manufacture. When I first went, I was pretty apprehensive about going to Thailand to manufacture because I had always manufactured in New York and in the States. And so, I took the opportunity to go out there and find somebody that could make this beautiful custom menswear. And went out there kind of like expecting to go home without, And so when I was out there, I actually fell in love with the community and the people and just their create and their art and their design. And so I think, I had taken something that's very American and brought it there and created on that level of with suiting and whatnot. And yeah, sorry, I'm a bit nervous.
Don't worry, you're doing really well.
I've never been on a live podcast, so I feel like anything I have to say is a bit boring, maybe.
Absolutely.
You're doing better than Steve. You're doing better than Steve.
You see?
Sorry.
Look, from the expert, what can I tell you? You see?
Oh, yeah. So I've been in fashion and manufacturing for a long time. My dad had a project called Buy a Pal, Be a Pal, and we manufactured in the Philippines. And so I really learned that as a child, what it means to help over there. Every bag that you bought, you donated a meal to children, and then from there you donated an education to children. So always to help.
Yeah, fabulous. And so you have this really exciting year, 2019, and then COVID comes along, right? What happens then?
Well, so here in Nashville, I have I'm dressing soccer players, musicians, the CMA Fest. Music managers, the football teams, the Titans, right? So I love what I do. And now I have this beautiful team of probably about 15 people selling for me. And, 2019 was a powerful moment because we then grew our manufacturing.
Right.
And a lot of people don't like that you do that or create in another area. But if you saw these people and you saw what they do, especially for women, it's so empowering.
Fabulous.
They actually took 300 women off the streets and moved them over to Chiang Mai and put up homes for them. And this beautiful, taught them a beautiful trade. And so we created something over there, and I was so excited to do it. I had this beautiful team selling the suits, women wearing them. I mean, everybody wanted in, right?
Right.
It's growing rapidly. And I'd already done this for 5 years. So before that, just the custom menswear. But the ability to expand on that level and be helping these women was oh my God, I'm doing something, And so, yes, and then COVID comes along, right in the height of my most exciting minute of my career. So I think for us, or for me, the moment that I realized in that end of March that this was real and this was bad, honestly, was I had 6 soccer players, MLS players for Nashville coming over to be suited. And I was beyond excited. And my girl Jess that works for me, we were both elated, we got the soccer team.
Right,
and
right.
Two of them are dressed up and they're so happy, right? And so they're on their way from down, and we get a phone call that one of the maids had COVID. And I was just so disappointed, man. I'm we got the soccer team, now I can't dress them because they have to be quarantined. And, not only is that a loss in profit, it's a loss for my girl Jess, who's obviously excited. She's got this contract now. But I think it was the first time I realized, what are we going to do? And so I went into a bit of a depression for about a week. And, I talked to my husband a lot about it because I was man, I have this beautiful team. I have these beautiful women over here, making the clothes.
Making clothes, right, yeah.
And so I feel responsible for not only my team, but my manufacturing. They're sitting there and they're hand cutting every single product. and they're putting love into every single garment.
Okay.
And watch this beautiful process, and suddenly I don't have work for them. So, I had to come up with something to do to continue to create, to continue to, pay my team, right? And ultimately just to help. I just felt at a loss. Like, now these people are getting sick. What can we do, and what can we do to just still create and to create some good? And ultimately somebody asked me, they said, can you make a reusable mask? And I was like, man, if we're going to make something reusable, I want the best, right?
Okay.
I knew because of these beautiful people that there was this awesome fabric manufacturer that had the Swiss antimicrobial seal, which is a very big deal.
Yes, yes.
They dye all their fabric, but they use organic stuff. It's not treated with, toxins, lead, all of this.
Exactly. Right.
And ultimately, if you're going to be putting it on your body, you have to be very aware. So I reached out and I just said, look, can we make a mask? And can we make the best damn mask we can make? And they said, yeah, let's give it a go. Let's try. And we went probably around 6 and kept going until we had the best mask we could make.
Sure.
And man, from there, I think it just exploded. People were happy to have something that they could market on. We were happy to give a product that we could sell 1 for 1 and, donate with them.
So you've been donating these masks, like you say. So somebody buys one, you donate one, right?
Yes, exactly.
Tell me where you're donating them and who you're donating them to, because a little dicky bird called Richard Hall, who is just a delightful man, told me that you'd actually donated some masks to the Henry County public school system.
Yes, we did. We've donated to quite a few churches and children's schools.
Well, I have a little surprise for you. I want to bring in Monica Hatchett from the Henry County public school system, who would like to say a massive thank you to you, Rachael. Monica, thank you so much for joining us. We set this up really quite last minute to get you on. So I'm so thankful you could join us. Rachael, meet Monica. Monica, meet Rachael.
Hi, Monica.
I don't think you guys have even met. So no. Monica, just explain to us about what's going to happen with these masks that Rachel's so generously donated.
Well, I'd like to thank you guys for this opportunity, and Rachael, to thank you. We can never thank you enough. Henry County, Virginia is a small town in southwestern Virginia. We are an area of high poverty. All of our students qualify for free and reduced lunch, regardless of their personal financial status, because of our community's financial status. So there is great need in our area. And one of our concerns coming back to school was to make sure that each student had the individual PPE that they need to make sure that they're comfortable in the classroom as their parents make the selection between virtual learning or in person. We're doing a hybrid model. So they'll come to school a few days a week and learn from home a few days, but we want to make sure that everyone is completely comfortable. So these masks and some additional supplies that we have received from other very generous donors, just like you, Rachael, are really going to support our students who are so excited to get back to the classroom, to be with their teacher and with their peers, and to begin learning again and to get back to that routine, which is very important to all of them and to us. So it's a huge blessing for us to be able to offer those to them, students who may not be able to afford them on their own, or just a student who would be really excited to receive something just like their peers. You know, that's important to kids, just to be like everybody else in some respects.
So we have another surprise. Not we're prone to throwing out surprises, but actually, believe it or not, I've got Richard on the line as well. Richard, let me just Richard, do you want to say hello to everybody and just say, how you guys joined up all the dots for me?
Hello, Rachel. How are you, dear?
Good.
And hey, Monica.
Good morning.
Now, first of all, I want to more than thank Rachel. Rachel is one little amazing human being who's done some things that she thought of others before she thought of herself after she realized where this was going. And she told me about her business as we were trying to do some other things together. And a couple of weeks ago, when I decided to make some donations to the Henry County Public School System, I called Rachel and said, "Hey, Rach, I got an area. I got someone that would really benefit from this. Can you do something?" And she said, "Sure. Let me see what I can do." And the next day, 1,000 masks showed up at my door, air freight, free, and I was blown away. So it just goes to show you that there is kindness out there, and people like Rachel can do small things that affect others in big ways. So I can't thank you enough.
That's fabulous. Darren, I'm welling up here. I've got a little tear in my eye. Guys, I think you're all amazing. I know education is so difficult right now. Business is so difficult right now. Richard is just, I know is all about giving back. Publicly, I want to say thank you to all of you for everything that you do for everybody. I think you're amazing, amazing people. I really do. And Rachel's looking kind of like, oh, I didn't think this was going to happen. And Monica's got a big beaming smile on her face. And this guy here is just a top guy. So, Richard, thanks for joining us. I'm going to let you go because I know you got a busy day ahead. I'm going to let Monica and Rachel just have a few more minutes, and then we'll get back to things. But thanks again, Richard. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you,
so much.
Richard.
You guys are all great.
Thank you so much. That's the real angel right there.
Listen, he's such a good guy. Listen, the world's better for having people like that around. So I'm just thankful I could bring you guys together for getting done. And I know it was kind of a very unexpected for you, Rachel. So apologies for that. But Richard and I talked about it over the weekend and wanted it to be a surprise. And so, Monica, education's difficult right now. I know. What are there some other challenges that we might be able to help you with when we get this out on LinkedIn, or what else can people be doing to help?
Yes, absolutely.
You know, there almost always seems to never be enough supply for kids, right? Even if they're able to come with everything that they need, sometimes they lose things or they misplace things, or they are also super generous and they share with their friends. So in any way, people can donate school supplies to their local schools or to us. We would certainly appreciate it. But, you know, you have a school in your area, and just thinking about the needs of those students. One of the things that a lot of people don't think about is children often come to school and they need socks, or they need something that, you know, a little known something that we all take for granted in a lot of respects. So just small items like that, or obviously school supplies, hand sanitizer. They love personal items. So if I have a hand sanitizer of my own that I can attach to my backpack, that's even more exciting for me, especially if I'm in the middle school, upper elementary grades as a student. But I would say overall, educators really covet your thoughts during this time. If you're religious, your prayers, because it's going to be a very interesting start to our school year and a very interesting school year. And it's always our goal to support our kids and give them everything they need. And it's going to be really hard not to hug them too. So maybe keep our teachers in your thoughts in that respect as well.
Absolutely. Monica, thank you for everything that you do. If you want to, we're going to post Monica's details on LinkedIn. If you've got hand sanitizers, if you've got supplies, you want to donate them to anywhere in education, but also to Monica, we'd love you to do that. Kindness in abundance just radiates this morning. Monica Hatchett from the Henry County Public School System. Thank you for joining us so much, and good luck with the new school year.
Yeah.
Thank you for the surprise. It's so nice. I'm so happy, you guys. So happy to see that.
I feel like we caught you off guard with all that, but I just, publicly, so many people want to say thanks to you for what you've done, and Monica was one of them. So tell us about the future, Rachel. What's the future hold?
Definitely more masks. We're just going to keep producing as long as people need them. I think eventually I'll go back into fashion someday, Yeah, I got to figure out what people need. And
yeah.
You know what
I know.
Yeah, I guess it's just a question of time, isn't it? It's a time of waiting until people want to buy fashionable clothes and the market picks up again.
Yeah, it's just a weird time, But I think ultimately, if you own any kind of business, you have to find out something. Something that can help is very nice. If you can find something that you're passionate about and you can find a way to help, there's nothing better. But I think you just have to figure out a way to make it work, or you die.
Sure. So somebody said to me the other day, the passion in business finds you. And me too. It really resonated, and I see that in what you're doing, Rachel, with the community that you're building, and the good that you're doing. I'm just blown away.
Thank you so much.
So we're going to post. We'll post obviously your LinkedIn and links and everything, but
projectmaskup.com.
projectmaskup.com. Okay.
Yeah. If you want to buy a mask, or somebody that needs help, or a group that needs help, please email me, projectmaskup.com. You can go online and purchase a mask, and everyone purchase, we donate a mask. So it's really nice to be able to donate those masks, but every mask that we have donated was because people like you bought a mask. So it's also nice from that end,
Fabulous. Listen, go on, Darren. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, just to repeat what Steve has already said, it feels really good because so many people are getting tetchy and annoyed and angry about the situation and not being nice to each other. So to actually have a Monday morning or Monday afternoon for me around feel good, and to actually know that we're actually making a difference is it feels good. I don't know what word to explain it, but it's good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Blessed and gratitude are two that come to mind for me. So Rachael Ramona, for this Monday morning, thank you for all the good you're doing all over the place. I'm actually quite emotional about it right now. We'll talk again soon, I'm sure. But for now, thanks for joining us on Across the Pond with Darren and Steve. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So
Bye for now. Bye-bye. Seriously, man, I'm a bit blown away,
It's good to know the difference is being made.
I know.
In the world. I'm sorry, I'm struggling for the right word here, but you know what I mean.
I do. Listen, and again, a massive thanks to Richard Hall. Richard and I have actually only known each other for a couple of months. We've been working on some projects together, and I know that he's the type of guy that gets stuff done. And gives back and all of that. So we'll put Richard's contact details on this post as well, because he's just, again, he's like you, man. He's like one of life's good guys, I'm thankful he was able to connect everybody today and do some good. So right, big deep breath, and
yes. How can we talk about anything else?
I know. It's just focus now. Come on, professionalism, guys. But
top tips on what?
Top tips on not getting emotional on podcasts. Take deep breaths. So listen, our top tips this week are about teams, right? Which actually is quite apt, I think, because you can create a strong team of people without even realizing, just like we've seen today. right? With Richard and Monica and Rachel and so on. And I think the thing that I always think about for solopreneurs is that you maybe don't feel like you're ever part of a team because you're a one-man band doing stuff, but you can still build a team around you. I think of strong advisors, a strong accountant, a strong expert like you, Darren, a strong banking relationship, a strong coach or whatever. So for me, that's one of those things that building your core team that supports you is really important, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, because I don't think any solopreneur, or very few solopreneurs, actually do everything on their own.
That's
so
right.
You might have a bookkeeper, you might have somebody help you with marketing, you might have somebody who you pass referrals back and forth to. So there's no harm in having regular calls with those group of people and bringing them together, just to get to know each other and to understand and like each other and build up the partnership even more.
Yeah, and so you form those relationships, and then other things come your way because of them. That's been my experience.
Yeah, and if like many people, business is quiet at the moment because businesses aren't purchasing and it's a lot quieter, then take the opportunity to build the existing relationships. And you never know. I'm quite amazed. I joined a group on Tuesday with one of my customers, and I was actually given the opportunity this Tuesday to talk about my own business and what I do. And there were 5 of us on the call. The other 4 people didn't really know exactly what I do. I just join the call every week. I have a rough idea what I do for that customer, but they don't know what my business is about. So it was an eye-opener for them. And next week, somebody else will present, and it will be an eye-opener for me about who their target audience is, what they're trying to achieve, and you just get to know each other so much better.
Cool.
Yeah.
So my other thing is for teams is about your team members. So if you actually have team members in the business, right? I think that when we have a team around us that aren't external, right, that we feel those team members should be invested in the business as much as we should as a business owner, and that's really not the case. Yes, they could be passionate about it. Yes, they can be, they can feel involved about it, but they're never going to have that 150% emotional investment that you're going to have in your own business. And so we should allow them not to be invested in that way. I hope I'm putting that right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. I think what we're saying here is that if you outsource to someone else, then they're not. Although they deliver a service for a fee, they deliver it for a fee, but they need to make money out of what they do as well. So if I do my own bookkeeping or my own marketing or my own web design or whatever it is, I'm going to put a lot of time and focus into it. I'm going to find the picky bits and do that. Whereas an agency or a bookkeeper will do what they've got to do for that amount of money. Sure. And they're not going to go and dig deep, or unless they really have to, or there's a responsibility to. So, yeah, we all come from different angles, don't we? We all need to make money, and we need to treat each other's businesses with respect. Yeah.
Totally agree. And my last one is about making it fun. And if you do have staff, if you do have colleagues in the business as well as your external partners, I think the 3 things that I've always tried to do in my groups like that is to make it fun, make sure you praise people regularly, and make sure you recognize their efforts, which is very different from praise in my book. Because that way, everybody feels like they're contributing. I learned that at a very, very early age. For those of you that know kind of my backstory, I worked when I left school in a bank for 6 months and totally hated it. That's why I only lasted 6 months. But there was one person at the end of every day that, as I walked out of the branch that I was attached to in Muswell Hill, North London, there's a bit of a shout out for a place in North London, they would say to me, "Thank you for your efforts today, Stephen."
Wow.
And do you know? I mean, it probably kept me there 2 months longer than I wanted to be, just for the sake of that person. So, fun, recognition, and praise. What do you think, mate?
Oh no, I absolutely agree. We quite often forget to thank people, and it's funny actually because Penny, who's been on the show here, sent me a link to 10 Days of Happiness. We actually, from a marketing perspective, but that's exactly what it goes through: is who you're going to thank today or be grateful for, and it just makes such a huge difference if you say thank you to someone, or show gratitude, or even just appreciate yourself. What they've done. I'd like to go off on a slightly different tangent, if that's okay. You mentioned fun, and I think it's fascinating. I actually watched Patch Adams. I don't know if you've seen Patch Adams.
A long time ago. Yeah.
Same here. 1999 apparently was when it came out.
Okay.
But right at the end, I don't know if you remember the story, but right at the end, he's at risk of not getting his qualifications to become a doctor.
Yeah.
And for those of you who haven't watched Patch Adams, it's about a guy who wants to become a doctor because he wants to make a difference to people's lives, but he finds that the whole process of becoming a doctor is very impersonal. You don't get to speak to people till year 3. He wants to go in and make life fun for them. And he's actually been charged with having, what was the word? Excessive fun.
Yes. I remember that.
Fun.
Yes.
Sorry, excessive happiness.
Exactly. Yes.
Excessive happiness. I thought that was amazing. He was actually, they said, we find what you do a little bit eccentric, but we can't stop you for your charge of being excessively happy.
Wow. There you go. Yeah, that's fabulous. So listen, I've just had this sideways thought since we're kind of busking a bit.
Yep.
This week is Project Happiness Week, right? Project Thank You Week. So everybody, we'd like you to thank one person every day randomly that you don't know, right? Whether it's a server, whether it's somebody on a call you just met, whether it's online, through Facebook, through Instagram, through TikTok. We want you to go out there and thank somebody and spread some happiness. But here's the thing. We want you to post it on the links that Darren and I will post on this week's link for the show. Okay? And let's see how many people we can get thanking people around the world this week, and we'll report back on that. I'll try and come up with a thank you for maybe the best little story. If you want to post a story on there, put a video on there or something, then we'll come up with something for them, Darren. Yeah, we'll try and find something.
Yeah, that sounds good. If they don't want to mention a person or add a link, then they can just say I've done it or I've done. Exactly. Yeah, let's see how many people we can do it. And equally, if you've got somebody out there that's doing some good, is giving back, that you want to see recognised, come and let us know. The thing about the small, I mean, this was a very different show for us this week, man. But we'd love to have more people on like Rachel. We'd love to help more people like Monica. So if there's some stuff on there you want to tell us about, then let's find out from you. Let's keep this kindness conversation going. What do you think? Yeah, that sounds good. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, listen, we're a bit over time. We'd like run over this week, which is fabulous.
We've hit records. The longest one and the most amount of, is that 4.5 people or 5 people on the call?
4.5. Yeah, 4.5 people on the call. Yeah, fabulous. Which is amazing. Listen, we'll talk about Tony Robbins doing Date with Destiny on massive screens next week, because I don't know if you've seen the technology involved, but I'd like to come back to that if we can. That he's doing for next week. Again, thank you for joining us. Apologies for my welling up earlier. I was really touched by that. Thank you for watching. See us again next week on Across the Pond with Darren and Steve, and a dog in the background if you can hear it barking. So it's goodbye. 4.5 and a dog. So it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him.
Okay. Cheers, everybody. See you again soon.